Yo, 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 what's going on today? Today we're talking about a peaceful warrior's guide to daily life, right? So, I've been reading this new book, bro, and it's called No Ordinary Moments, a peaceful warrior's guide to a daily life, right? It's by Dan Millman. Let's look at the back. It says, all right, this is the back. No ordinary moments, no ordinary guidebook. Our life are like a journey up a mountain path. As we climb, we face challenges in relationships, sexuality, money, work, and health. We can find abundant information and advice about all these subjects. Many of us know what to do, but to make real changes in our life, we have to turn knowing into doing. Here, Dan Millman presents a peaceful warrior's way to turn our intentions into actions, our challenges into strengths, and our peaceful experiences into wisdom. The arena is daily life. The method is simple action. The time is now. It starts where we are. It works at entry level. Based on the premise that by changing ourselves, we can change our world, No Ordinary Moments presents simple yet powerful ways to balance the body, liberate the mind, accept our emotions, and open our hearts. I find No Ordinary Moments stunning in its beauty, simplicity, and scope. In a few hundred pages, it distills the essence of thousands of years of teaching and wisdom, reminding us how wonderful it feels to be awake and alive, to love ourselves and one another. If indeed the next age of civilization brings the Great Awakening, here is our guidebook. Michael Greenberg, M.D., author of Pedestal. So these books were based off of the Kung Fu Shaolin masters. I'm not sure where these Shaolin masters were from. There's some from Europe, there's some from China, there's some from Japan. There's Shaolin masters all over the place. But the Shaolin masters are all about movement and being connected with the mind and the body, because they feel that it's all connected, right? And so I'm going to start this book off from the start, right? I'm going to just read a couple pages, right? To our readers, we publish our contribution to the emerging world based on cooperation rather than competition. So it's saying that our world's based on cooperation rather than competition, on affirmation of the human spirit rather than on self-doubt, and on certainty that all humanity is connected. Our goal is to touch as many lives as possible with a message of hope for a better world. Right? So, in this book, I'm going to kind of explain how it works. So, you got the contents right here. It goes in parts. So, you got part 1, and then it explains the steps for part 1, part 2, and it explains... It's a 6-step book, right? It's a 6-step book. And then you have a list of action items. So, these are actions that you could take in your day-to-day life, right? I statements... a second chance to express. There's a lot of things in here that are very good. The preface, I think I'm going to skip the preface. Part 1, The Peaceful Warrior's Way. Somewhere in American West, a softly moaning wind blows dust and tumbleweeds across the vast desert wilderness. A barren land stretches across open country with no human life except for a few small, isolated frontier towns. The cry of a coyote sounds above the howling wind, when out of the dust emerges a lone figure, striding softly across the desert floor, barely leaving any footprints, walking gracefully at an unhurried pace. He nods respectfully to a jackrabbit. As he passes, we see he wears an old hat and carries a small bag and a bedroll tied around his chest. His face, unlined and serene, reveals a man without a past or a future, a man who lives completely in the present moment. We sense in him a great courage, power, and strength, and at the same time a quality of compassion and kindness. Warrior and priest, he lives to protect life and serve those in need. Soft-spoken, gentle, and refined in manner. A Shaolin priest, well trained in the martial art, he lives as a healer and a counselor, whose wisdom derives from natural world, an architect of peaceful warrior. His name is Kwai Chang Caine, a character of Ed Spellman, and played in Divine Carradine for the old Kung Fu television series. Real-life examples of peaceful warriors include Mahatma Gandhi, Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King Jr., Joan of Arc, Albert Schweitzer, and many others who have applied a warrior spirit to the cause of peace. They reflect the potential within each of us. The way of the peaceful warrior. So now that was just like the preface, dude, that was crazy. All right, the way of a peaceful warrior. Happiness or spirit surrounds us and permits us, every cell of our being. We only feel this inspiration in rare moments. However, because of internal obstructions in our body, mind, and emotions, the way of peaceful warriors directly confronts and clears these internal obstructions. So we can feel the happiness that is our natural birthright. As peaceful warriors, we strive to travel the paths of life with courageous spirits. But we recognize that true healing ultimately comes from the heart. We realize that we can help to shape our lives, and that by changing ourselves, we can change our world. The way begins where we are. It works at every level. The method is simple action, and the time is now. All right, bro. So it's saying like we basically control our own reality, right? So if you think that if I think I'm gonna wake up in the morning and I'm not gonna do my daily stuff, I'm not gonna read my books, I'm not gonna wake up at 5 a.m., I'm probably gonna sleep in. I'm probably not gonna wake up at 5 a.m. I'm probably not gonna get to my schedules, right? It's all about how you look at things, right? It's all about where you go to look at things, how you look at things, who you listen to, who you compare yourself to, bro. I think everybody's like the 5 people they compare themselves to. I compare myself to authors and people online and YouTubers, but I kind of like spring off of the good things that I like about them and use them and apply that to my life. Somebody told that to me. Somebody said that's some really good advice. And if y'all can do that too, bro, do that. If you can find people in your life that are above you, in terms of financial wealth, in terms of wisdom, in terms of anything, bounce off of the things you like from them. Take what you like from them and leave the rest, right? So take the things you like from them and leave the rest, and don't think too hard about it, you know. But I'm gonna head out. Y'all have a good one. No cap.